If you're into editing or you want to go into editing and you want to make a video like this, sorry I had to mute it for copyright reasons, but it is on my shorts. Then watch the tutorial. I will tell you everything. I will also tell you errors that you can potentially make and how to fix them. And if you do need any support or any help in it, feel free to join the Discord server, which will be in the description. Just ping me and just ask any questions and I can help you. So before I make this video, I just want to make it clear that there are costs involved. Now, editors that do these tutorials, do not tell anybody until the end, until you find out that you've got to pay like this much money for something that you need to complete the edits. So first of all, you have Blender, which is completely free. Then you need After Effects, which is £21.98 a month, or free if you're studying. Then there's Element 3D, which is actually $200, which is £160, which I didn't know until I got to the end of my tutorial and found out I need this plugin, which is very expensive. But if you're maybe interested in learning about it, you still want to watch it because you want to get it eventually, then still watch the tutorial because it can be really informative. So first of all, you want to go into your Roblox account, go into the Creator Hub, which is the create option. You then want to make a new experience. Now you can choose any of the worlds that they have. I just choose the classic base plate, but it doesn't really matter what you choose, to be fair. You then want to add this plugin, which is going to let you import your character or your friend's characters. So if you go into the toolbox, if you can't see the toolbox on the top, you should be able to do the toolbox option, which will allow it to open. You then want to go where it says models, click on that, click on plugins, search, load character, and then download the free version of this plugin. Now, after you install this, you will be able to see this on the plugin section at the top. It's very quick and easy, it's safe, it's Roblox. Just download that and then you can click on it. You can then type in any user that you want and it will spawn it in. I usually click spawn R15. So after you spawn your character in, you want to change the position. Now you do this because when you take your character and put it into Blender, you want it to be in the exact middle of Blender, because if you don't, then it could be somewhere else in the map of Blender, you might not be able to find it. So it just makes it a lot easier. So when you click on your character, on the bottom right it should say properties. If not, I think you just click the view bar at the top and then you should be able to see properties and click on that. So make sure the position says 0, 0, 0, and then where it says orientation, it should say 0, minus 180, and 0. Now this next bit is completely optional. I just do this to make it look like I've got headless. So if you want to do this, you can, you don't have to. On the Explorer page, click your name, open up the little like arrow, and then you'll be able to see your like accessories, your head. Click on head. Now I usually delete my face, I don't think I've got a face anyway. And then what you want to do is where it says head, turn up the transparency. Don't delete this because you do need this when you make your rig, like your bones and everything. So just make it transparent, like 100%. So when you've done this, you're now ready to export it to Blender. So if you click on your name, the Explorer tab, right click, export selection. Now you can save this, make sure it's an object. I just name it anything like Sakura object. You can name it whatever you want. Make sure you do folders for this, make it separate so you can easily find your object and your items. After this, you can then open up Blender. You can use any version. I do use 3.6 only because I'm very used to it and it works out for me, but any version's fine, it just might look slightly bit different. So after you open up Blender, you just want to click general. Now you don't need the cube, you don't need the light or the camera. That's just if you really want to create something with the cube. We don't need to, we've got our own object, and then the lighting, we're not going to like record the video in Blender, so you don't need any of those. Now this is a good chance to get used to the controls. I have a touchpad, so I use 2 fingers to move it around. I then use shift, move it with 2 fingers to move left and right, and I use control 2 fingers to move it in and out. I think it's just the middle button for a mouse if you do have that, but just play around with it, get used to it. Now to get rid of the camera and the stuff, I literally just go on the top right, click, and then click delete, and then it will delete them all for you. Now you've done this, you want to put your character into Blender. However, before you do that, you want to add the bones because Blender doesn't have it. So if you go into edit, then preferences, type in rigging, and then it will come up with this option. You just want to click the little box and then it will automatically install and it will be there. Now you want to put your character in. So if you go into file, then export, you will see, make sure you click the first wavefront OBJ. Click that, and then wherever you saved your character to, make sure to open it. I'm going to blur it again, I just don't want to expose any personal information, I do apologise about this. After you find it, it should look like this. There should be an MTL and an OBJ file. Click the OBJ file, then make sure on the options on the right you click split by group. Now I will show you what happens when you don't click it. It will basically show us one whole image. When you do click it, it will all be individual, so your arms will be individual. So when you move your arm, only your arm will move instead of your whole body. So this is an error that some people can make. If you do import your character into Blender, do not move it. You can move it, but you've got to make sure you apply the transformation so that when you do like put it into something else and put it back into Blender, that's the like original position that it will go in. So when you do import it, just don't move it at all. Leave the character there so it doesn't mess up or distort or anything. See your full character to make sure that the colors are all okay. You can click on the top right, the 3 little circles, click on the third one and you can view it. Usually people don't work in that because it makes it a lot less laggier, so make sure you click onto the second moon again, just so it's like a plain color. You then want to go onto the 2 little squares next to it because that makes it transparent so that you can add the bones in. Now to sort the bones out, you want to press Shift A. You can also go to the top and click Add. Scroll down to see Amateur and click the Human Meta Rig. After you click on it, this will show. Now you want to move the skeleton with the character. So on the left panel, click the arrows shaped as a cross. You can use I use the blue arrow just to bring it down to make sure that the feet match with the character's feet. You then want to use the scale tool, which is the one I've selected. And then you want to use the little green square to make it bigger. It doesn't have to be exact because you will be moving it anyway, but just roughly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into the skeleton and we're going to move it around so it all connects to the body and it's in the right place. So you want to click on the skeleton, make sure you definitely click on the skeleton, nothing else. And then you want to click tab. Now tab just goes into edit mode so you can just edit in more depth, which is the exact same as going on the top left where it says object mode. Make sure it says edit mode. So before we start moving things, if you look on the right, there should be this little arrow. Click it, click on tool and click X-axis mirror. Now what it does is what you do to one side of the image will do to the exact other side, which just takes it just so much quicker. It's way quicker because when we remove like the hand bones, you don't have to do it on the other side. It will automatically do it as well. So now we're going to be deleting stuff we don't need. So if you think about it, just think about how many objects you've got. Like you've got a top arm, a bottom arm and a square for a hand. So you only need like 3 of the little bones. That's all you need. You don't need like those little finger bones or anything. So you want to delete the finger bones. To delete, you just want to hold, click, select over what you don't need, and then you click the delete button, click bones, and it will delete all the bones for you. You also do not need this bones, you don't need the collar bones, you don't need the little hip bones, and you don't need the face bones. Just copy what I do. Now you should see 4 little bones running. For the second one, click dissolve bones because that's going to be a huge belly one. The one underneath will be for your hips. Now you just want to use the move tool, which is on the left, the little arrows and a cross, and you just want to move them around just so they fit with each one. So there's 1 bone for 1 little object, so the arms will be in the arms, the belly will be the belly. Just copy what I do as well. Now after you've done that, it will look something like this. Just go back into object mode by clicking tab to the top left, click Control A and just click all transformations. That basically just tells Blender like when the rig goes back into Blender, this is the original place that you want it to basically like spawn in. You now just want to save it. Just in case anything goes wrong, you can always go back to this if you need to move any bones or anything. Just save it as anything like bones added or something. Make sure you try and save as much as you can. Don't save it in one file, save it as separate files. In case like something goes wrong, you can always go back to an old file. When this is done, we're going to now add the bones to the object. So make sure you click on the bone, do not click on anything else, because if you click on like the hair or the arm, when you go onto object mode in the top left, you will only see like sculpt mode, vertex, you won't see pose mode. So make sure you click specifically on the bones, then when you go on the top left, you can see pose mode. Now this bit's quite simple. You just want to go on the top right where you see your username. You just click that. Where it shows, just click on the bone that's on it, and then you want to click Control P and click bone. Now you want to do this for every single part. Then for the head accessories, just make sure you hover over all of the handles and then you click the bow for that. Then all the bones are done. You can move them around to make sure it connects. I just save it just in case. Make sure you save it in the file you created, and then you can also export it as an FBX file. So that's going to be part 1. I'm going to do part 2 showing you the animation, showing you things that can go wrong. If you do try this and you have literally any problems, just DM me or tag me on Discord and I can help you out. But good luck if you do try this. I hope it goes well for you.